gents? Welcome back on this week's episode of Bone Apple Tea. We get to sit down with Alec Linehouse, aka LYNY. Dude kicks ass, super cool guy, great musician, has done a bunch of songs with the whole bunch. I feel like it just kept unraveling, and I was like, dude, you did what? You did what?
You did what? You're doing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's literally playing a show at Forrest, which is massive. I mean, it's a massive festival. Which is crazy because I've literally been to one. You know what I mean? It's like weird to me to think like, all right, I've been to one of those, and that he's just gonna be one of the guys up on stage playing. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. So.
Yeah, it's a really cool opportunity for him. So we talk about that. We go kind of like where he started as an artist and a musician, sort of his path through that. We talk a little bit about food and sort of his traveling and what he did on tour.
Yep. He's from Chicago, so he puts us on to some food spots in Chicago.
Yep. We talk about Chicago pizza versus New York pizza.
Some of his inspirations, artists that he really admires. Yep. Flume being one of them. He's got a really interesting style and seems like a really smart kid. I feel like he's going to be putting out some crazy stuff pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing because he was even saying he just turned 21. And he's already doing so much shit. It's
super young.
It's so exciting to see like what he's doing. So yeah, with that's this episode. So hope you enjoy. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, as they say.
Yeah, and then his Instagram handle
that's right.
/ SoundCloud is at LYNY Official. That's LYNY Official. What's up, dude? So you've kind of been all over the place, huh?
Dude, yeah, it feels really good to be at home right now. Like real good. I was literally just in just a little West Coast tour, I guess, like a small one. And then I hit Houston for the Bilo tour, and I've been back here for like a week or so now. Feels nice though to be back. Because holy shit, that was a lot of traveling.
Yeah, well, it was crazy because when we were trying to get the podcast together, it was like we got a date, and then it was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm actually flying out. I'm like, damn, are we trying to schedule Henry Cavill over here? Or like, is this LYNY?
Yeah, no, I do apologize for that. That was
great,
really hectic.
Dude.
Like especially great. Those like literally that was during that mini tour. So
dude, I mean, it looked like a ton of fun. Like I'm just like, it's more shit to talk about. You know what I mean? It's like cool. It sounds like you're killing it. So
yeah, no, it was super super fun. I appreciate that. Vegas as well. It was my first time in Vegas.
No way.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. I just turned 21 February, so like,
oh wow, happy belated.
I get to experience. Yeah, thank you. I get to experience like clubs and all that.
Like actually, like, well, I mean, I know, yeah, because like, my first time was when I was 21 too, yeah.
Yeah, like, exactly.
But it's just it's different though, you know what I mean? Like, so wait, so actually, I was gonna ask, which do you like from the places you just played? What do you like better, like LA or like the vibe out in Vegas or Houston? You said Texas.
That's actually a good question. I didn't like the air in Vegas. I'm not used to dry air, so I was waking up with like nosebleeds. Like literally, it was so dude. It was so dry.
That's like next level dry.
Yeah, literally. But I'm like allergy based, so and I'm literally always around humidity. Like there's a lake by me and stuff. Like it's not a desert over here.
Yeah.
But it's also not Florida. Like it does get a little dry when it's super cold. I liked LA, I like LA in general. I don't really see myself living there I guess in the next like couple years or so. I mean, I don't know why it's losing focus, but
that's okay. You still look handsome as ever.
Okay, yeah. I appreciate it. So I think LA is a place that I like to vacation to, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, no, of course.
But yeah, I definitely wouldn't live there anytime soon. I just don't think I'm ready for that. The traffic here is bad, but in LA, it's crazy because everybody lives so far apart.
It's atrocious.
So, yeah. And, out here, it's like a 25-minute drive maximum. Like, like even if there is traffic, like 30 minutes.
You're in Chicago?
Yeah, because it's big, but it's really accessible. You can even just hop on like the train system and get like, it's again 20 minutes from like north to south.
Yeah.
When there's traffic, it is a little bit bad. Like talking 30 to 35. And I'm talking like north to south, but
right.
I think Chicago's accessibility and the community here is just like amazing. So I really like staying here.
Right.
In terms of like where I'm at, especially. Out of those three.
Oh, sorry.
What was that?
Oh no, go ahead. You were saying out of those three.
Oh yeah, sorry. Like Houston, I really, really enjoy. It's beautiful. I heard it gets really hot, and that would be sort of like one of the issues that I would have, because I can't do like that extreme heat, but I can do like, like
I mean, you're like
summers, good
by
summers.
It's cold by you, right? Like, I mean, you're up north.
It's
so
freezing
like,
right now. Yeah, it's freezing.
I'm pretty
Where
sure
are you guys at?
We're in
South.
We're in New England, so like
Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Rhode Island,
East Coast.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've seen a video of someone in Chicago in like the dead of winter where they took like a bucket of water and threw it outside, and it just all turned to like snow, essentially.
Yeah, dude. Yep, Chicago. That sounds about right.
I was curious, do you know Talons by any chance?
I met Talons in Vegas. I believe it was in Vegas. I watched him play a little bit. I think like about half of the set, 'cause it was like right when I got in.
Yep.
And then it was awesome. It was fire. Then I spoke to him a little bit afterwards. Not much though. I think it was just an introduction, and then sort of like, because I was playing at a different stage.
That's so funny though, because he's been on the podcast beforehand, and so
that's awesome.
I saw that you guys followed each other. I was like, I wonder if they like know each other. And then when you went to Vegas, I was like, I wonder if he met up with him or something. That's really cool.
No, yeah.
Do you
That's
get to
awesome.
like meet a lot of the artists? Like whenever you play shows like that, like do you get a chance to go back and like meet everybody or whatever? Like
yeah. I've met so many people the past few months just going on shows. So many artists that I really, really look up to. Like a good example is like I went to the Rez show with it was Of the Trees, like E-Prom, Chi. I believe Chi played that set. And I kind of maybe I can't remember. I don't think Chi played that one. I think it was just Of the Trees, E-Prom, and Rez. But I ended up going to the green room. I was talking to Of the Trees, and that was my first time meeting Of the Trees, which was super dope. And then I met E-Prom, which was really random, but and I was just like, yo, because like, I mean, that's a huge inspiration. Like the fact, like, it's like, I was so like trying not to fanboy, but like it was fucking E-Prom, and I was just like, kind of like in there, and I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I spoke to him for a second. That was really, really cool. That whole experience was really, really fucking cool. They all played a great set. Aragon Ballroom in Chicago, which is like a really large venue. It has all this like cool like space stuff on the ceiling. Like,
oh, that's dope.
It's all I don't know if it's paint or how they did it, but it's very cool to see shows there.
Do you get any
it's
like
a ballroom, so it's old as shit.
You get any like cool collaborations out of any of these like concert meetups? You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good question. I think maybe it's hard to say because like it's not something like, like I immediately like think about. So like I've met a bunch of people through that, and then I guess most of my collabs have just been internet based. People that I've known maybe that I have met in person. But yeah, like I still have yet to meet DeBo in person, which is crazy because like I mean like him and I go way back. Like back when SoundCloud was just like, back when it was almost just SoundCloud for like the good EDM, the good electronic music.
Yeah, it's like way back when.
Spotify, like kind of like, I think had to do with the big shift in terms of companies then like choosing to do the whole like streaming music service instead of just like direct upload. Like you have to go through like the distribution and all that.
Right.
I think that's kind of what had like most of the switch, but or had to do with most of the switch. But yeah, Bo and I go way back. I've known John, for example, John Casey. I've known his music for so long. Guys like, like Louis the Child, like literally like, 2014. It's crazy. Like 2014 to 2017. I want to say. And I was pretty young at the time, but I was definitely on SoundCloud pretty much 24/7. That's where all my collabs kind of came in.
Interesting.
To answer the question, though.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. When did you end up like hearing about Audio Mac?
Audio Mac, Plumpy introduced. I actually have always seen it in the when I go to like distribute music. I think it's in the checkbox.
Right. It's like one of those.
I've seen the name.
Yeah.
But Plumpy introduced me to the platform, I believe. I've yet to give it like the real good checkout, but I am like I'm very familiar with it, and I know you guys are doing a lot of big stuff over there.
Yeah, we like the platform just because they like us, so it's like a very mutual. Yeah. It's like a mutual liking,
right? Almost, yeah.
And it's nice because like we seem to be getting a lot of like we're putting on a lot of like electronic artists onto the platform, and then like putting them on the podcast, and it's like what it reminds me of. It's very much like almost like an Instagram for music, like the people that you follow,
right?
Every time they like re-up something or whatever, it like shows up on your profile. So it's like instead of pictures, it's all like music that people are listening to.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Right. Like a social media streaming almost like
exactly.
It's very cool concept.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask about, before we go any further, man, you got on this festival.
Oh yeah,
I feel like we should kind of like talk about
huge.
that right in the beginning, because that's like some like really huge stuff for you. So like, tell us a little bit about it, man.
It's crazy. I remember it was me finding out that I might be playing it, to you're playing it, to then announce it like right now, live, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it was a really, really overwhelming time. It was definitely like almost, I want to say like a full circle moment. Like, it's just like, it's unbelievable. I've never been to Electric Forrest myself, but my best friends go like literally every year. My manager has gone probably the last like 7 years. Like I think that's how long it has been.
I was gonna say I've actually.
I think is 7 the max. Whatever the maximum since the start of the festival. It could be a lot more than that. I still have yet to dive into the history, like, and I want to do all of that, like, in preparation for everything. Like, I was just in shock, like seeing. I think what put me in the most shock was seeing the artists that I literally listen to on a daily basis, like near me, like, or like on the flyer. And I was like, oh my gosh, like
dude,
B Miller, even like Chelsea Cutler. It's, I don't know. It's just unbelievable.
It's kind of stacked. Like there's some pretty big names on that show. And I've actually been to E-Forest like once. I've been to like probably 8 or 9 festivals, and I've been to E-Forest, I've been at EZoo a bunch, EDC, and like that's pretty sick, dude. Like honestly, that's a really cool.
Dude, it's an honor.
Yeah, I mean that's a big show.
Yeah, it's seriously an honor. It's a blessing. It's everything positive. The whole the whole project that I've had for this amount of time, like, and it has been a very long time. Like, it almost feels like it led up to something like this. Like, I've been literally like grinding my ass off, and it was so unbelievable and shocking, but it literally was just this huge like step in the career where I was like, oh my gosh, like this project really, really, really could be something that I want it to in the future, that my goals were that I had my mind set on or whatever. But yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Well, dude, it's cool because like you said, you just turned 21.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're mad young.
I mean, like you're in the words of Gary Vee, you have so much time,
dude. Yeah.
But like,
literally, true. Gary Vee. Yeah. I really like that guy.
Yeah,
he gets great. Me like, it's like my coffee.
Yeah.
My second coffee.
Yeah, it's great. But like, I mean, there's a lot of truth to it, dude. You are so young, and to be able to share the stage with like a lot of really amazing, like super famous artists is going to be a trip, you know?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I've already had the pleasure to do things with artists that I really look up to. And I just think, like it's like almost tunnel vision at this point. I'm just gonna focus on this career. I don't have a job otherwise. Like this is my career.
Wow. That's so
yeah,
like
literally.
you don't even have
So-
like a thing that you do, like you don't work somewhere and do this. This is just like
no, I
Wow.
live off of lessons and show money right now. Lessons, show money, stream revenue.
Like lessons, like
yeah, lessons in
like I see a piano.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask piano or-
Yeah. Like producing lessons.
cool. That's pretty
a
cool.
little bit of
Interesting.
theory. I'm not too good at it, but I've been offering producing lessons for a while. I have a little over, I think like 90 students, 90 different
Holy
students.
shit.
Some of
Wow.
them don't come back, honestly, but some of them are recurring,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I essentially like announce, like to them that like, hey, I have this week open, and then I kind of like file in hours. It does get a little bit busy. I'm amazed that that this amount of people want to take lessons from me in general. So like it's crazy. But it does help a lot, and it's like they're all like amazing people. So and it's like friendships to a point. That's why I want to start like a Patreon or like a Bandcamp subscription almost.
Mm.
Just to be able to deliver content. I think I've always said this before. I've said this to my manager. I want to if the LYNY project really doesn't work out the way I want it to when I'm like older, and this is like way down the line, I definitely want to teach music. I want that to be the full time.
Ooh,
I
like that.
I have this like huge attraction to teaching music. I don't know why. Like it just like it makes me happy to like show someone how to do something or show someone how to fix a track. And then they're just like, oh my God, thank you. Like I've been looking for this all week. And I'm just like, dude, I got you. Like,
Yeah.
it's that simple to make someone's week. Like that's awesome. Like that's like, I don't know. My mom's a teacher. I think I get it from her. Like, it's just like it's like a mutual, like, I don't know, like, let me help you. And it almost helps me. Like I'm,
Yeah.
and
That's
and
cool.
it helps you become better at it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
100%.
sure.
Nice,
I mean,
like-
it's like one of those things too, where I feel like, there's a lot of times where you're like, man, like you don't even know what to look up on the internet to find, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't even know what question to ask. And then somebody who's done it before, just instead of spending hours, it's like, dude, this took 5 minutes. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like that.
Right. Exactly. That's the whole thing. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's awesome. And I had such a wide variety for a while, which taught me so much about like where I was at, honestly. Like that's what's cool. I think that's what's really cool. You pull lessons from seeing so many producers at so many different levels. Like I had producers that were really good, and then I played their stuff out, like just because like I was like, wow, like this is a dope track. Like I think one of them, it was like a London Bridge, or no, it was Toxic. It was a Toxic house flip, like Britney Spears.
shit,
Toxic.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was a house flip, and it was just crazy. She just sent it to me. He's just like, yo, hey, like I made this. I think you'll like it. Or I think he actually, because I always ask for reference tracks when I approach the lesson. So I think he sent me it as a reference track. Like, here's stuff that I've worked on. And I was like, holy shit, I need the download for this one too. And then it's cool because, like those things do happen. Like there are there's so much talent that's like unknown, completely unknown.
For sure.
And that's why I think sometimes I have the coolest people reach out to me for like a lesson or whatever, like, because I learn a lot from them, and I learn a lot from teaching that sort of like wide variety, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
But
what do you end up using for production? Like, I know a lot of EDM artists like Ableton, but I'm always curious to see what people are working in.
I mainly use FL Studio.
Okay.
FL Studio 20 currently. Pretty much like the most recent update. I've been an FL user literally since I was like 13. Like,
Oh, wow.
I think I think even before that a little bit, 7th grade, like 6th, 7th grade, so 12, 13. I think I really, really like FL's pattern sequencer, all that good stuff. Like I like its plugins, like its stock plugins, its stock presets, its stock sounds. I like its its sampler. It's just different, and I've always liked Ableton. In high school, I took a class. It was like a production class or whatever, and they only had Ableton. So I actually was able to just like work on Ableton the whole time. Like he would have us do tasks, but I would like finish out the tasks very quickly, just like, because they were these are very basic courses. They just offered them. So like, like everyone was able to finish them very quickly if you had any experience in a DAW or with audio. So I remember I would finish all the tasks super quickly and then make my own stuff and use that like whole class period to kind of just like be creative in Ableton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
dude,
then
that's
just
super cool.
it like back at home. But that was where, and I'd used Ableton prior a little bit, I own it now. I really like Ableton. I've been using it recently more, like very recently, because all my students or most of my students are in Ableton.
Okay. So it's good to know your way around it.
Exactly. Like, and they've shown me a lot of cool shortcuts where I've just been like, holy shit. Like, and then, I didn't know Ableton can do this. And like, I'm beginning to compare it a little bit more to FL, but I just think they're different in their own ways. I do a lot of like resampling, I guess, in Ableton. I use Operator in Ableton a lot. I use the glue compressor like a ton. In their saturator, their version of OTT. I think it's just their like multi-band compressor.
Yeah.
All those like general plugins that Ableton has are just great. So what I'll do is I'll like resample audio and then drag it back over to FL and then work with it.
Interesting. That's
most
a pretty
of my
cool
finishing. Yeah, no, of course. I think there's a lot of producers that do that. And I think that's a really cool thing to do. Like Bitwig is a free DAW right now. Right when it came out, everyone was downloading it. So I like gave it a stab and it's really cool. And then there were some plugins that were really fucking cool in it. So I would like take them, kind of like, utilize them or whatever, and then export it out and then do like, do these little files or whatever.
Yeah.
It may not be free, but I think like the basic version is free, I believe, unless it's completely free still.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
though.
stuff like that, like Reason. When I was little, like
Reason.
I would download random DAWs like Reason and then use like the whole, because it's more like patchwork where like, like actual patching, like where you have like stuff like this. And that's kind of what Reason like relies on is like, so it was really cool to experiment in that. And then like kind of export like saw chords or like just bullshit because it just sounded different. It literally just sounded a little bit different than everything. There's
cool,
definitely that huge argument. Yeah. There's that huge argument that like FL and Ableton, like that like any DAW is the same. That like you can make any like project in the same DAW, and it's like you can, of course, and you can prove it all day. But there are pre-computed like settings within plugins. So like
for sure, when
you pull up a plugin in FL versus pulling up the same plugin in Ableton, they are not designed the exact same. They're not going.
Yeah, definitely not.
Settings,
it's like guitar pedals. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's a really good example. It's like just, one company has a distortion pedal doesn't mean that the next company,
or one designer builds an amp.
Yep.
The other designer builds an amp. Maybe their reverb has more, like a depth to it.
Right.
And when you turn theirs up to 10, it has a much wider reverb than when you turn this guy's up to 10.
Yeah.
This person's, I should say, like anybody. Like, I think, that's a really good way to put it. Is just like guitar pedals or like, people actually doing the electronic stuff. Everybody has different touch. It's like coding.
Yeah,
everything.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what it is, right? It's like ultimately, it's like somebody wrote a line of code, and it's like not everybody does it the same way. So
that's why I like to say pre-computed. Like they're literally designing them like that. Like they're in there like making the software exactly like how they want to make it, or how they think it's attractive. Whatever they're doing,
exactly, dude. It's just taste, right? So it is cool. I feel like it helps definitely being exposed to a variety of different. One, it's like more sounds, right? Like you said, like with your students, they're presenting you with different problems they might have. And you're like, oh shit, well, I haven't run into this, but this is what I would do if I were to, try to fix something like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it just makes you better as like an artist in general.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you mentioned that like you were using FL all the way back in like 6th, 7th grade. Is that
yeah.
Did you start with production, or were you like a musician first that like got into recording?
Yeah, I was I played guitar. My dad got me a guitar for Christmas. Well, I've actually always been like exposed to music in my family. Like this shirt, actually, it's funny. This is my great uncle's band. So shout out Electric Rag Band.
Hell yeah, love it.
But essentially, like I'm literally always surrounded by music. I've always been surrounded by music. My parents would buy albums like Black Eyed Peas, Missy Elliott, like Aaliyah, stuff like that. Like that was when I was like literally 2 years old, like 3 years old.
Right.
But I would dance to them, you know, like, yeah, rest in peace. But I would dance to them or whatever. And then, you know, it just kind of went from there. I've always been attracted to that, to sound, I guess, to audio. I want to say when I was, 7 years old. So first grade, it was Christmas. My dad bought me my first guitar because I wanted to learn how to play guitar. And that was kind of the first thing I picked up on. And then I did guitar lessons for a very long time, a couple of years at least. Then I kind of dropped guitar to play basketball. So I was playing basketball like pretty much like from like, you know, 6th grade, like till freshman year, like super seriously. And then I just kind of stopped basketball, moved back to a little bit of like music and stuff. But what's funny is it dates back to 6th grade where I went on, or it was, I was in my neighbor's garage and he played a Skrillex song.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, holy shit, what is this? Like, this is crazy audio. This is just like playful with the ear. It actually makes sense musically, but there's a lot going on that I've never heard before. So I was immediately just like, wow, that's an experience. Like, I went on YouTube like almost that night and was just like, how do I do this? Like, how do I make music like this? Just like, I don't know, because I was always chasing shit as a kid. Like I would dabble in like coding, or I would dabble in like graphic design, just like anything computer wise was just like awesome. So knowing that you could do that on a computer, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, dude.
So I immediately Googled it. I think I downloaded FL Studio's trial. I went on YouTube, found some dude, shout out Kid Urban. Funny, that's such an old name. He was like a YouTube tutorial dude, and he made hip hop or like trap beats. I give a lot of credit to him because he really just showed you how to make basic hip hop beats in FL Studio. And they were dope, and I downloaded his packs or whatever. And then I started like getting a little bit creative with it. But it was so on and off for a while because like it was a side hobby always, again, because of like basketball and like stuff like that throughout middle school and shit like that. I think I took it really seriously when I got like my first reposts. It's hard to say when I actually really took it seriously, because there were so many moments where like a big artist would like, or a larger artist would repost my stuff or like hit me up and be like, yo, this is dope. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm going to drop everything I'm doing right now. Let me drop out of high school and fucking make music the rest of my life. But then like, you know, like it wasn't really like that. So it's really hard to say. But when I switched over to my LYNY project, like, so I used to be called LYNY, like LEINY, which is a little bit more corresponding to my last name. It's just my high school nickname, or not even high school, like even like a little bit of middle school. Like my life's nickname was just LYNY. My dad's nickname was LYNY.
Wow, okay.
So that's like, you know, a lot of people refer to me as LYNY over Alec, but a lot of people are like, why do people call you by your artist name all the time? And it's like, no, dude, like that's like my nickname.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna ask actually, like,
calling it at some point. Yeah, exactly. My last name's Linehouse, so that, you know, like LYNY or whatever. My dad played a lot of soccer, and that was like his nickname literally, and bartended too. Like, so that was his like big thing, was that like LYNY. Everybody like would love calling him LYNY because it's a little bit unique. It's just it has like a little bit of a ring to it or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
Anything that ends in a Y is usually pretty like fun to listen to, like say,
exactly. So, you know, like his buddies were calling him that. And I remember my dad mentioned it to me a couple times. You know, he has soccer jerseys with just LYNY on it or whatever. Like,
that's cool.
He mentioned it. He was just like, yeah, it's my nickname. And then I think I went through a couple names prior, like some dumb names. Like I was 12. So I would like look up like names of a gun or like names of Call of Duty guns and like pick a name from there and just put it as an artist name. Like I was just so like
M14 camo smash.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it's hilarious. But I eventually landed on LYNY, and then I had when I took it like smack seriously, how old was I? 14 or 15?
Pretty young,
even
dude.
16, maybe 16 though. So don't, no, it couldn't have been. It's definitely 15. But I released a song called Stay With You, and I just released it. I literally just put it out. It was actually getting like a decent amount of like, you know, little hype just from like my really small fan base. I probably had 350 followers at that time, but that was one of those tracks that was like, whoa, dude, like 20 likes, 30 likes. Yeah. Like, whoa, this is sick. Yeah. But then what happened, Majestic Casual somehow found it. That record label, I don't know if you guys are familiar. I believe they're based in Germany. I could be incorrect on that. Majestic Casual, it's like they did a lot of YouTube stuff. So very, very chill stuff. It was like a collective, but then they also had a record label. Mm-hmm. But they're huge, like they're very large. So and very well respected. And so they hit up like my 15-year-old ass, and they were like, hey, like, can we put this on our record label? And I was like, yeah.
I'm sure that was awesome to hear, dude.
Take it.
That's crazy.
Like I was like, take it, dude. Have fun.
Yeah, please. And you're right. It is Germany. I just looked it up.
Germany. Yeah. Okay. So it's such a funny situation because this whole industry is like, in a way, almost like out to get you. And that's like kind of like it's kind of always been that way a little bit. But Majestic gave me such a good percent off the bat. And I would have signed for anything at this time.
Yeah.
Right. I kid 15, you not.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
they could have given me any percent and I would have been like, okay, like, you know, they gave a really good deal. They did, and they did that for all their artists. They really took care of their artists. So I was making.
Cool. I respect that.
It's insane because I was making and it would be like what quarter annually I would get like $200 to $300. Like it wasn't crazy, but to a 14-year-old that just smacked out a track. It was just like, okay, I'm making a little bit from this. And it's kind of weird that like I'm making that, but
you can't even like legally work yet. And like,
dude, I literally like nothing. And I had to sign tax forms. My dad had to sign them because of that, because they're international. And there was a lot of like, and there's a tax. There actually is a tax. There's like a pretty high tax when you're dealing with an international label and they're distributing here.
Interesting.
They're distributing with an artist here, but I think it didn't really affect much. It's amazing. But their team was fucking phenomenal. I just like really applaud them for that. It's crazy because I don't speak of this much. It's just like this interview has brought me so far back.
Yeah, love it.
But yeah, that was like, you know, and I really liked that track. It was an EP or whatever. And then I eventually had in like freshman year, some kid, my friend Matt's older brother was like interested in becoming a manager, and he was going to school for something along the lines of that, maybe not exactly management, but he wanted to stab at the idea. Mm-hmm. And I was like, sure, like help me out or whatever. Cause I was like alone. So that was my first manager.
Wow.
It actually, you know, it went well, and he was the one that suggested maybe you switch your name from LYNY to LYNY. So it looks more like popping. And I was just like, yeah, but is this like phonetically correct? Like all this, whatever. Like I was really debating it. But then I did it and I was just like, yeah, I like it. Cause it kind of looks like, you can make like glasses out of the Ys.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you put like I don't know, like
And
something kind of cool.
It would
like,
look cool like in lights if you were to make us. Which actually, I was gonna ask. I know this is totally. I mean, maybe I'll save this for later. But I was gonna like with the E Forest show. Like, have you like?
Mhm.
Obviously, it's gonna be a bigger production in terms of like the actual show itself. I would imagine.
Yeah.
So, like, have you thought about that at all, or how does that work? Like, do you have like a team now, or what's up?
So yeah, and like we can actually like so right now I do have a team. I was blessed to have my guy Tim, my guy Ginger Caps, hit me up and he was like, hey, like, and that was right after I stopped working with my manager. This was like this wasn't right after, it was like months, but I stopped working with my old manager. And then I was alone and I was looking for a manager because there's a lot of stuff that like, and this was at a really good point. Like I already had a couple events, like live streams, like, like track releases, like Jump Bros, like Freak and those type of tracks that kind of did like well. And I was solo and I knew that if I wanted to progress in the way that I wanted to, I needed help and I needed someone's hand and I needed, like someone who knows what they're doing. So this dude DMs me on Instagram and it's actually so funny how the world like put us together. But this dude DMs me on Instagram. He was like, yo, I see that you're doing this project. Do you have any current management? And at the time I was just like, no, I don't. But like I'll send you some stuff in the future or like whatever. Like it was sort of just like a quick like in and out. Months later, I'm really thinking like, okay, I really, really need a manager. So I just hit him up and I was like, cause I believe like he was doing a lot of work for artists that I, enjoyed, but he doesn't work with them anymore. So he was actually almost like open roster in a way, almost like in terms of EDM, he was open roster.
Okay.
So this was like perfect. I wanted someone that was so focused on me that was local because he was, he's actually from Chicago. So, like, and it was like a perfect time. So I messaged him. I go, hey, you still interested in my project? He was like, yeah. And I immediately sent him a pack and he messaged me back and he was like, dude, it's funny. My team was asking me about artists and I mentioned your name today after like months of us not talking and I was sending them stuff and you just hit me up hours after like, and, and we haven't spoken in like a while.
Yeah. The world
was just
is
like
funny like that.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think, bro, I really do think everything is connected.
It's weird. That's one of those moments where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But yeah, like he was able to help me out. Now he is like, I'm with a great team. I'm with a great team of people. I consider them my friends, which is like awesome. Like,
oh, that's great, dude.
So yeah. And again, that was sort of like when we got the Electric Forrest, I was thinking of like visual. I was thinking of everything immediately, but I haven't like dove in yet because it's almost like overwhelming.
Dude,
I'm still processing it. Like it's like crazy. It's been, I don't know, like a week or so since since the announcement, and I'm still trying to process it. It's crazy. I have to, I mainly want to focus on my set. So I'm making a bunch of music right now. I'm making the like I'm grinding music. I had writer's block, but I literally like smacked writer's block in the face. I just forcefully wrote ideas until they sounded okay. Like, and I was like literally up till 5 a.m. just like grinding. But I think it's almost like I've always had this like perfectionism I don't know, mindset when I go into music. So if it sounds like shit, it sounds like shit and I fucking move on. Or if I can't fix it, it's gone. Like, and I'm moving on and I'm making something and I take the mistakes that I did from the last one, kind of utilize them in the next one. And, like it's almost practice in a way, but I'm so specific about my music. You can ask anyone who's collabed with me. A lot of my collabs don't go out. I'm like, but I think being specific about your music is important. I think you should own your direction. I think you should own your artistry. You should own your brand. You should own whatever you want to call it. Like it's I don't know. If you want to be put out a certain way, do it that way. Like really do it that way. Like a huge inspiration again, EPROM or like Flume.
Yeah.
Like
Flume
Flying
Self.
Lotus.
Yeah.
Like they like everything they put out is like gold, but it's almost like you can think about how many projects there are probably in between. And I know there's a lot of that like mindset that like, yo, release everything. There's no like, don't regret it or whatever. Don't regret it. But I'm like, I cannot get to that idea. I can get behind it. I just cannot like do it. Like I wouldn't be able to. I'm too specific.
Dude, I mean, like, I feel like, you can make a bunch of music, right? Like you're getting reps and every time you make a song, but like, if you're being honest with yourself and like, you don't think this is what you want out for yourself. It's like, fuck it. There's no reason you have to release anything you don't really want to release just because like somebody says you need to be throwing a song up every day. It's like, that's bullshit at the end of the day. It's like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I make a ton of shitty projects, like really bad projects. It's actually hilarious. Like if I posted these things, it'd almost be embarrassing, like in anybody's eyes. But you have to make trash. Like you have to, like it's the process. Like,
I mean, you're self-critical too,
Yeah.
Like that's important.
You gotta just throw shit at the wall. You have to just throw shit at the wall. That's how I got out of writer's block. I was so stressed on that because I was like almost losing my identity as a producer because I couldn't make anything. And I do attack a lot of genres, which doesn't help. Because I'm like, where am I at? Like, okay,
what's
where
this
do I
project
fall?
about?
Yeah, like exactly. And it's stressful. Like it gives me anxiety and like it gets me like I don't know, sad, like literally sad. I'm sitting there and I'm like, who am I in this scene? And what do I make right now? I'm sitting there with a blank DAW. But you realize that even the best producers can't make anything sometimes. Like it's about like going outside, like taking walks, like realizing where you're at. Meditating is really, really good. I need to get more into meditating. Do you do like simple meditation?
Do you do anything like outside of the production? You're talking about like meditation. Do you do like any like physical exercise or anything like that?
I used to a lot. I've been kind of off of it and eating unhealthily the past like months. And I think touring like for the little time that I did really fucked it up. But I need to like, I have a mindset where I need to get back. Like I need to stop eating like this. I need to get to the gym. I play a little basketball sometimes. That helps.
Okay. There you go.
Every now and then I just go to the park, just to, even like a walk.
Yeah.
I walk to get my coffee every morning. I just try and like I don't know, like it's,
get out of the studio chair.
Yeah, right. Like at least I'm getting up for a little, and I do sit here for most of my days.
Dude, I mean, travel really fucks everything up. You know what I mean? Like every time I travel for work, I'm like, oh my God. Because then you have to think about things that normally you don't. It's like, all right, I got my routine at the house, and
exactly. Exactly. It's like you're all discombobulated when you go from like airport to airport, like 5 a.m., and then 8 p.m. next day, or like just weird shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like, what's crazy is I can't even speak that much for it. I haven't been on like a really excessive day by day tour, but most of them do have buses, I believe, which is a bit more comfortable than going from airport to airport. And like, me like flying home and then coming back out, like I can't really like afford to stay in some places, especially like LA. Like, it's expensive. It really is expensive. I'm a Chicago boy. I'm not used to those type of like, I don't know. Everything is a little bit pushed up. Even here, everything's pushed up right now though. Like gas is crazy.
Yeah. It's
but we're in a time. So,
that whole situation's been wild. When I think
so I can't even. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and it wasn't. It was like kind of like not peaking, but like on the come up when I was like out in the West Coast a little bit. So that was a little bit stressful. But
what was like the highest gas price you saw out there?
Taking care of me. Yeah, I saw $7 and I didn't want to hear any more of it.
Oh,
I didn't want to hear any more of it.
No.
I literally
$7.
Oh
I think I've
my
ever seen that.
God.
In
I
my
didn't
life,
see
actually.
$7. I heard $7. I
Okay.
saw $6.50 for sure with my own eyes, but I heard
Oh,
$7
that's
and I
still
didn't want to hear like,
ridiculous.
dude, that's I Am Legend.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, it is.
We're
That's
paying like $2.30 like last year.
yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, it's fucked. It's crazy.
Well, like when you're like when you went on your tour, did you try like hitting any like really awesome? I like to talk about food here, but
Yeah, I love food too,
yeah.
so I'm all about it.
did you get to like hit any like really cool like spots? Like if I'm out to
Yeah.
LA, like where should and actually I'd love to hear if I need to actually go to Chicago, not as a 12-year-old because I went with like my mom when I was really, really little.
Portillo's,
Oh,
is that
yeah.
Chicago?
You got, dude, there's the breweries here. Like you got to go now and like really like the food here is just like it's a perfect mix. It's the perfect mix. But you were saying like when I was in West Coast, did I have anything like special?
Yeah,
Or, like,
yeah. We're gonna have a
like
debate about
anything
pizza pretty
memorable?
soon, so gear up
Yeah,
for that.
I always have this debate. I'm the perfect person for this. So I've been to New York City at 3 a.m.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I know these spots. I know Connecticut has the best one
We
though.
do.
Yes,
Um,
we have some hot spots.
Yeah. It depends on how you like it. So I
Yeah.
can argue
Yeah.
this all day, but some people just like deep dish, you know,
Yeah.
like some
Yes.
people, or like thick cheese, thick crust.
Yeah,
Some people just like that.
the kind of pizza that's actually lasagna.
Yeah,
that's
so I was-
carrot tried
I
to
was
be
like,
pizza.
yeah. You mean lasagna?
Pretty much. But okay, so I had In-N-Out. I've had In-N-Out before, but I went back to get the animal style.
Oh, there you go.
Because I heard dude, oh my gosh, I might be like the most unhealthy person, but those fries are awful. I think they're more potato based or undercooked. I don't know what they do.
Oh, the fries in and
And
out.
I don't know how they miss every time. I don't know. I don't know why it's their brand. Like you know someone in that line has at least heard like 400,000 times how bad their fries are. And you think someone would like,
do
you
something.
think it's probably been sent by mail to them. Like I think they thrive off of that idea, dude. It's crazy. I was just thinking about it. Like how did like, I don't know, but I think it could be a healthier fry, right?
Probably
Maybe.
not. Probably
Maybe?
not. It's probably just
Yeah, right.
Like, you know,
See?
you're
So
like,
it's like
you're probably not.
it's like right, like
yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, yeah, and you think like
How
to your
how
point,
strange
like
is that?
it's like you guys are a burger shop with fries. Just do that.
Right.
Like
You
just-
guys have two things on your damn menu that you need to get right. And
Yeah.
and you fucking threw 50% of it out the window. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, but if you order it this way, which probably 10% of tourists know if you're coming from anywhere else, then it's pretty good. It's still pretty good. Like
yeah.
they're not crazy.
They're like, yeah, like we got
Portillo's
burgers.
out here.
I was gonna say Portillo's. It's funny because like Portillo's, we do like this weird cookout thing at work, and I don't know if you've been to it, but,
Yeah.
but it's like
I love cookouts.
for like fucking Groundhog's Day or something. One of my coworkers is like
Yeah.
super into it, and we like airdrop like Portillo's hot dogs and buns and everything like to
dude.
our work.
And those are
place.
so good. Do you do
Yeah.
the Italian beef catering? Do you get the beef?
Yeah, I believe so.
What?
Dude,
How have I
yeah,
never
you
heard
could
about
get the-
this?
Dude, they're
Dude.
fucking bomb. We have like bottles of mustard
You
from
get
Portillo's, literally that have been there for like probably years. Like we
Oh
just
my
have so
God.
many
Dude.
fucking bottles of mustard.
Damn, I'm
There
missing
are
out.
okay. There are three things at Portillo's that are like S plus tier, like legendary food items.
Oh, those little pickled pepper things, dude. Those are bomb.
Actually, those are good, but dude, their hot dogs are literally. I still have yet to have hot dogs that are better. Okay,
Ooh.
their fries, right,
Okay, I've never had the fries. I don't think.
dude. Actually, four things. So it's their hot dog fries. You can kind of put them together. Their fucking Italian beef, dude, is so good. And you get it any
Yeah.
style you want dipped. I like mine dipped. I like it completely like in the gravy because their gravy is insane. I don't know what they do to it. It's like crack. And then last but not least,
It's literally
their
crap.
chopped salad with their own house dressing is just like the best salad. If someone told me that all I could eat was salad for the rest of my life, that would be the salad.
Be like,
I'd be
all right,
fine with it,
salad.
actually.
Dude, I
I'd
gotta
actually
go
be fine with it.
straight to the
I
source.
won't get sick of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Dude.
hot dogs are bomb, and the Italian beef. I mean, we literally drop ship
I'm
them from
telling
fucking
you.
Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm telling you,
it's time to take a
get
little
the chopped
flight.
salad. It's underrated. Not a lot of people know about it. But if you're like Chicago or suburbs, you know that chopped salad is so good. So like when we cater it, we get a big bowl of the chopped salad, and then they give you the frozen Italian beef, their own beef that you cook in like a pot.
Oh,
And,
really?
Dude, and
Talk about fresh.
and that's the best birthday party, whatever you want to do, Super Bowl. Like that's the best catering system ever and food.
dude, all right. Well, you
It's
put us
just
on to the
so
chopped salad.
good.
We're gonna
Yeah.
have to go to Chicago and
I'm
Yeah.
telling you guys. It goes so crazy. Like I don't hype up a lot of food, but you were talking about pizza. And
Oh yeah. Well, so have you been out to like Connecticut
East.
in the East Coast kind of like style
Not
pizza?
Connecticut.
Oh, not
Not
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Okay.
I've had New York style pizza.
Okay.
There was Joe's Pizza, then I had another pizza place.
Joe's
But they were both really like, the dude reheat it. He did like the whole thing. I think I really did get the good experience because everyone was telling me that I got the good experience. So I'm assuming I did. Joe's and then some other place, but it was literally like 3 a.m. So I have no fucking idea.
dude, that's the thing. There's like a million places that just are selling
right.
pizza by the
Yeah.
slice. Like you literally go anywhere and
It-
get.
Yeah.
It was literally, yeah, no, exactly. And I walk in and like, man, it is a different,
It's
completely
different.
different.
air
It's
there.
literally completely different.
Yeah.
it's a different vibe. It's a different air. Not just the pizza, like just everything in New York is just different. You do get the sense that I feel like everything is rushed. Like everyone's in a rush.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, get your pizza. Get the
Chicago's
fuck
a
out of
lot
here.
more
Yeah.
laid back. Yeah, exactly. I actually and it's funny. We made that joke. I'm eating with my friends and we're standing up because there's no like everybody's just fucking. It's
That's just how
it's
it is.
a really small
A little shack, like a table.
and
you get
everybody's
your
like
pizza, you walk.
rushing, and that's so I'm eating pizza standing up, and I look at my buddies, and they're in Manhattan. They live in Manhattan. They're from New Hampshire. Or well, they went to school in New Hampshire,
Oh, wow.
Dartmouth. They have it. Yeah.
word.
I think I don't know where one of them's a Miami kid, but he ended up in the East Coast somehow, or like Northeast Coast somehow. I look at them and I'm like, dude, why is everybody standing up? And they kind of just look around and they laugh, like, and that was like the joke, like, and everyone's holding you hold the pizza like you fold it,
Yeah,
you
dude.
do
I
the-
fold all. I
you do
fold
the
all
little
my
fold.
fucking pizza. Yeah.
and like the
Taco style.
It was so funny because you only kind of like see it in movies. I'm outside and some dude is just like honking, I guess, at people.
Yeah, that's
and
kinda
people
just what
are
happens.
I think here in the Midwest, people are very like shy. Like, but we're like, I don't know. It's not shy. Like we'll wave or whatever at the neighbor walking, but it's like we wouldn't like just call someone out if we see something. But like, someone starts honking and their windows down and they're honking or whatever. And then some dude just decides, why the fuck are you honking?
Yeah,
Like just
dude,
yells
yeah.
at him. And no one would do that out. It's almost like it's so funny. And I experienced those type of moments 3 times. I watched a dude walk up and almost fight a dude just because he was like doing some work or whatever. And then some dude randomly like smoking a cigarette just called him out for something. And I was like,
Yeah,
like,
it's
whoa.
such a.
Where
It's
am
just,
I?
he was doing his job. And then they got in a little altercation across the street. And then the security guard would be like, all right, shut up. And it was like, whatever. Like,
it's such a like northwest.
I don't know,
thing,
dude.
or
It was
northeast
just like-
thing to do.
yeah, no. And I, like I could be, it's experience by experience. So anybody in any city could just be angry. Cause you just see it everywhere, but it was funny that I had that like whole, like people always talk about it who like my buddies from the East Coast talk about it. And I was just like, yeah, but like, I think, it's expensive to live out there too.
It's super
Yeah.
So I can get behind it in a
Well,
way. Like
when you
I'd be
mentioned,
stressed as fuck, like tense.
when you mentioned how expensive it
kidding,
is
I'm
out in
kidding.
like LA, that's kind of how I feel about New York City.
Manhattan.
Is like,
Yeah.
I like
Oh, yeah.
visiting there, but I could never really live there. but it's fun to have like a
Right,
weekend
right.
or like, you know, if I'm filming or something, like it's a great spot. But like,
Dude, I see, but I like New York way more than I like LA.
really?
Way more.
What's your
Dude,
reasoning
way
for
more.
that?
I'm a city boy. For some reason, me breathing in cold air I'm at home. You know, like colder air. Like I just
in New York.
have this like, I don't know. And I love downtown. Like I love seeing buildings. I love things that are like, I don't like how actually New York is a bit much for me because there's shops that you walk in and I'm in the aisle like this, dude. Like I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, I just want a fucking Snickers. And I'm like,
That's why I like
Square,
Boston though, because Boston's like a little, I feel like New York is like, and I love New York, but I would rather like live in Boston because like there's like tall buildings and shit.
My buddy's in Boston. I gotta.
Oh, dude, Boston's great.
It's nice, dude. It's a little less intimidating because like it's still a city and there's like shit happening, right? Like I like the city too. Like, shit's going on.
Everything city, like everything.
Yeah,
and like,
vibe.
but like it's kind of a little more spread out, so it's not like you're, you know, these huge, insanely tall buildings like towering over you, and it's a little less like claustrophobic almost.
Yeah, well, it's because a lot of it was there was a lot that was built, you know, that's still standing today from like literally revolutionary times. So like they still have like, you know, you can follow that like, you know, as touristy as it is, it's still kind of cool if you've never been there, as the Freedom Trail. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Where it just takes you through each of the things, and like Faneuil Hall is an amazing area to go to in Boston.
Like Boston Calling is like right there.
See, I have to go to Boston. I might visit my buddy.
Dude, clam chowder. You gotta get some New England clam chowder when you're there.
Is it good?
Oh,
I really like clam chowder.
Dude, you go to Boston, you go to Faneuil Hall, and you grab a bread bowl with clam chowder. So it's literally a bowl made of bread, and then they put the clam chowder in it. Oh, so good. So good.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, it's delicious. And I mean, yeah, dude. I'm moving to Boston pretty soon, so if you're in the area, slide, you know, let me know. We'll fucking
dude,
I'll show you around.
Of course.
Yeah.
What's Boston known? Clam chowder, would you say? And then what? Like a
yeah,
Boston,
I mean, I guess.
but some guy in Boston's like really clam chowder.
Yeah, I mean, food wise, right? Like New England.
Like New England seafood too. Like we have really good seafood because we're like right on the shore.
Exactly. The Celtics, like trying to go to Celtics.
I was gonna say probably the one and only thing about Connecticut that's memorable is the pizza. So like New Haven style pizza.
Dude, I need to try it. I need someone to walk me to the best place in New Haven.
Dude, you're gonna have a lot of debating people be like, no, go to Sally's. No, go to Pepe's. Go to, you know, it's like it's all over the place.
You got to ask the harshest fucking critics. You got to ask the harshest ones. The one like, so I just ordered pizza last night. So I get this pizza called Pequods. You guys would hate it if you like.
Is it like you got to sit there with a fork and a knife?
No, so almost.
Okay.
But it's not deep dish, but it's just, what is it? Like, I believe it's like caramelized crust, but not like crazily like, but it's unique. It's unique. It's almost like a wood fire crust, but a little caramelized. So it's like a thicker like wood fire, and it has that
like
crunch, but it's not the same. It's not a crunch. It's like a foamy. It's so hard to, like a fresh crunch. It's so hard to explain that, but then the cheese is thick, like, and you know, and the crust pops out a little bit, so it is thick. Like it's not.
Dude, you're getting me hungry.
I know, dude. I'm like starving.
Yeah, but
like,
and it's
you know what it is too is like you mentioned like, oh, you guys would probably hate it, but like, dude, it's pizza. Like at the end of the day,
you can't.
It's kind of like saying like, oh man, this cupcake sucks. It's like at the end of the day, you're eating a cupcake. You know.
The reason I say that I think you guys would hate it is because my buddy Rovlo. I don't know if you guys know Rovlo. He's Subsidia, like all that. I think he just put out a slushy collab.
Oh, no way.
Which is pretty dope.
Wow.
So that's a really good homie. But he came to Chicago and he called me and he was like, all right, like he called me, he's at the airport. He's like, all right, where do I go for pizza? And I was just like, oh God. And I'm at my family's house at this time. And I'm looking at my dad. I go, bro, an East Coast dude just asked me where to get good pizza. And my dad just laughed. And I was like, I know. like, dude, like, so, but I tell him my favorite is Pequods. And I think you'll like it if you want to give, it's square pizza. It's square. Like you cut it in a
like
fucking
grandma
squares.
style.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
like that big Y style.
it's really good. The crust has this roll to it. Like it has this layered roll. So it's a crust, but it has like it looks like, they rolled the dough before, like properly.
Dude, I'm
like
so hungry just thinking about like garlicky
I'm starving
pizza
right now.
dough.
Dude, yeah,
This is
look up
great.
Pequods. The logo, it's on Clybourne, I think. The logo is it's a whale with like underwear with panties on his head. And
What?
It's been their logo. Yeah, it's like been their logo for like so long, or since they had the shop. And he has a beer. He has a beer in his hand too, with his fin. His fin's like holding a beer. Like
That's
a
awesome.
like it's a pitcher. It's so funny. But that's like a great place to just have a drink too. Really good place to have a drink and good pizza. Like you're gonna get good pizza. Well, don't ask Rovlo. ask me. But Rovlo's like, what is this shit? It tastes awful.
Dude, wow,
but you get
so
it delivered and they give you like a tin foil, like it's tin foil over it. And sometimes you have to fucking call them and be like, guys, like,
does it make it soggy?
The tinfoil ripped the cheese off because the cheese is so melty. So sometimes the tinfoil just like rip it, and then you just have sauce on bread. And then you're like, oh my God. And they treat you back though. They give you a deal or whatever. Like you just tell them like, but it's still so good. So you find yourself literally scraping the cheese back on and eating it.
God,
dude, it's so good.
I might just
awesome.
I'm gonna go just buy a pizza.
Yeah, he's about to hit a pizza place after this.
Yeah, no, literally. I think I'm actually going to my family's house tonight, so we're gonna do some dinner. So I might mention some pizza or whatever. But there's not good pizza in the suburbs. We do have Lou Malnati's in the suburbs, so that's probably the best bet right there.
Okay, there you go.
Lou Malnati's is that deep dish, but I'm not. I'm like about deep dish.
Deep dish just seems like a really big endeavor. It's definitely
it's just a commitment.
I feel like I'm thinking about like me eating a deep dish. Like I would be sweating while I'm eating it.
You know what it is? Is like normal pizza, they call it a pie, and I get that, but deep dish seems like a cake. You know what I mean? It's like a cake of pizza.
Yeah. Or like a really thick pie without the top layer.
Thickums,
like,
thick
without
with
the
two
top
C's,
layer.
dude.
Yeah, if you just took off the fucking top crust and you just called it, like you would just see the apple in the pie. And that's what the fucking deep dish would be.
We can let's get back a little bit into music before we head out.
Yeah, of course.
I'd love to hear about kind of like things that you're excited about. Besides, I know you're playing this festival, but like, anything else that you're like really excited about? I don't know if you got any more like albums or EPs or anything else. I don't know if you do music videos or what that's like.
That's a really good question. So right now I got home, like 2 weeks ago, a little over a week ago, I think. I've just been literally grinding nonstop on music. So I want an EP. My brain is like, I want to make an EP. I have my iPad here. I just draw little stupid album art sketches. I do all my album art, which is like,
oh really?
It's a pretty affordable. Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
For there are some, like, for example, this dash artwork up here. You'll see it's a little hard to see, but I had a designer design the middle piece. A really good designer. 6 a.m. Saint, I believe his name is. I'll have to double check on that. I want to tag him properly. But he essentially made that design. Like I asked him specifically. I paid him, and I was like, "Hey," but that's one of the only things that I've ever put down like money on. I like to definitely avoid that. But the EP is something that is in my brain and it's floating around. We do have a lot of singles. I'm about to distribute a single once I get this artwork done. It's going to be some wonkier stuff, I believe, but don't hold me to that. We just put out this remix, this DeBo remix.
Nice. Yeah, that's dope, dude.
Yeah. The mommy work.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
that's wicked funny. He was on the show not too long ago too.
Yeah, that's like, again, like I go way back with Nehuen. Like we've been like bouncing, he was an inspiration to start, which is like, it's cringy to say, but I tell him it all the time. Like he seriously, like I was a little kid. It's funny, I have this little CD on my desk of the album.
Oh shit, look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah, the cassette tape. Shout out Dome of Doom. I hope that comes through clear. But essentially, like, I was listening to his music when I was just, like, literally starting up, and like my neighbors, the same dude who showed me Skrillex, we'd jam to DeBow on like his Mac speakers. I didn't have anything. I didn't even have headphones at the time. It'd always be like cheap earbuds or like stuff like that, like stuff that I played Minecraft with, my Razer headphones. But yeah,
Skull
like
candy or some shit.
Dude, it's funny we were talking about pizza.
Skull candy.
I was looking at some of like your album artwork. So you made the Caliente album artwork?
No, okay. Oh no, that's because so my collaborations are always different. I should say my collaborations, anything that isn't like a solo release, they're different. DeBow was in control of that artwork.
It's funny that we were
he didn't make
pizza.
it, but he had an artist make it, and they snapped.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, that's a really cool piece of album artwork,
dude. Yeah, I don't know what made him want to do a pizza.
Yeah, with peppers on it.
Funny. Yeah, it's just like I think it's so funny because I think he was just like, bro, I got it. Like, let's just do like a pizza. I was like,
you're like, all right,
awesome.
Yeah,
let's fucking do it. Like, I was so down for it. Like, it was so random, but just perfect. Yeah. Then we had a music video for Caliente.
You did?
Artist. It was, yeah. It's a very, very artsy, like how would I? Yeah, like an artsy. What do you say that?
Like abstract,
animation.
Maybe
like an animation.
Yeah,
I feel
it's all just there's no.
Yeah, we might have because we.
Yeah. It's like
awesome.
trippy. It's trippy as shit.
Do you think you'd ever do?
Lighting.
Do you think you'd ever do like a narrative type of music video of some kind?
Of course, I like to take these words. My buddy John told me because I discussed it, and this is just music even before the video because I think I want eventually my music to narrate a true story, or maybe like an album, a true story. But I was talking to John about it when we were in LA, and he said something that like, and I take it, I take his word like he's again like an inspiration.
Right.
He was just like, I agree, but I'm not at that point in my career yet. And I took a and it humbled me. It was really good. It was really good. Yeah. It humbled me. I was like, I took a step back. I don't even think he knows. It probably meant nothing to him. He probably just, but I was like, I had this like, I was like, okay. And then over the next days, I really looked at where I was at in my career. And these are things, again, the identity, like I was struggling with a little bit of artist identity, which I'm working on slowly.
Yeah.
I think it does all just come from like general identity. Like I have to really just look at myself in the world, and meditation does help with that. People look past on this a lot, and taking care of the mental is so fucking important.
Yeah, for sure.
So important.
Yeah, I mean that's like how you percise everything. It's all in your head.
Exactly, and like perspective is everything. Like it literally is everything. And so I took his words with just like I looked at myself in my career. I would like to do music video. I would like to do tracks with vocalists to express more ideas that I can't express with sound, or that I feel like there is no limit, but that I feel like it would be easier in a way, it would because I like Flume's projects. They're so inspiring.
Really good.
Like Flume's projects are so inspiring. He just posted a new song, so I'm gonna have to get on that after this, but because I haven't gotten to it yet. And
all this,
and it's funny. Yeah. There's not a lot of people that give me butterflies just talking about how they dropped a new track. I've been like almost struggling, like finding art like that. And I'm bad at it because of my ADHD. I get too distracted. So sometimes my ADHD will do this stupid thing where like, I'll find an artist and it's ADHD is a fucking weird thing because it's distraction based. Yes, it's distraction based, but you have to think about like what that means in terms of everything. So like,
you're like hyper fixated on something.
Yes, fixation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and and like it's not me going from artist to artist to artist to artist. It's me going and being like, how can I have easy access to get this like artist or more of this sound? And then you lock yourself a little bit and you're not like, you're in the same little, like, you're like a fucking squirrel in their hut, not leaving their home because you're trying to find, like, it's very, again, so hard to explain. I guess everyone's brain is just like a little bit, we all have some ADHD or some ADD.
Everybody's got something, you know? Everybody's got a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Even if it's like super small,
dude,
but I am like a fucking, and I'm hyper. Like if you meet me in person, I'm like, but it's funny because like we'll go out partying and then 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. if I didn't like get enough sleep that night, I'm out. I'm just like, you'll watch me just crash. Like it's insane. And I'm quiet and then I'm just like a different person.
It's that lawnmower running out of gas kind of mentality where it's just like everything's totally fine. And then,
but dude, like Flume, like I feel like all of his songs too. I'm always like, why does this sound so fucking good? Like it's like the sounds he uses, like they all sound so like I don't even know what the word is. Like
this touch,
transy almost, and like it's fucking it's just unique to say the least. And he has his own touch and his own brain when he thinks about music. And I think a lot of people just struggle with being that confident. I think that there's this like, it's like he knows exactly how he wants his shit to sound, and he does not let a lot of things influence that. So like, it's not like Flume could send a track to anybody and be like, how could I improve this? Yes, they can give him pointers, but like it might only just throw him off.
Right.
He has like such a specific, and I'm not speaking for him. This is from a listener's perspective completely. But I think that he has this like very specific way he looks at music. And it's just like, because he'll do things that I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You just like you actually did that. And no one would have thought of it, regardless of even if it's a simple thing, just doing it in such a complicated way or like a well like orchestrated way. And you're just like, dude, like it just makes you
relax,
think.
man.
And you're just like,
what's going on? What are you doing over here? Dude, I saw him.
Leave some creativity for the rest of us.
I'm always stressing about those details. And like, he just does them so well. Shout out Flume. Also shout out Sophie. Rest in peace, Sophie. Beautiful music in terms of knowing their own sound, like hearing exactly what they want in the project and outputting it. And I mean, that's why they will continue to inspire me. Like all those producers, like EPROM too. Like EPROM will do stuff. EPROM like is a really good example. He'll do stuff that's like, oh my gosh, I wish I thought of that. Like it's almost like just exploiting, like basic shapes, for example. It's, just like literally like sine waves, saw waves, basic audio signal, but exploiting the properties of them, exploiting that. Like, and I don't want to sound like a nerd, but like, I guess it's
sound like a nerd, dude. Basic. Let's go. Like, we're both nerds over here.
So it's like taking like a saw wave, right? But lowering the pitch so much of the saw wave that it sounds like stabs, and you don't even hear it. It no longer sounds like this. It sounds like
almost like trans.
Oh, interesting.
Because you just slowed it, like, and like these are things that it's just basic audio. Like it's just the properties of audio in a way. I'm just so interested in the science behind it. A lot of, like my biggest inspirations, like even Chi, like they're so good with technical things, and like they actually really enjoy, well, it seems that they enjoy the technical side of audio. And I've always enjoyed the technical side of audio. I just never was able to like no one showed me this music for so long. I was fixated on just trap, like in festival trap. And that's, when I switched my name, I really started experimenting. I was making every genre. And I think people who listen to me or listen to my music know that I make like all sorts of genres, and I try and put out all sorts of genres. More hip hop based drums though is my, like, I guess it's a stylistic thing.
Well, it sounds like that's what you learned on based on like what you kind of described as like you all started with that YouTube channel back in the day that was like how to make hip hop beats. And so it seems like the foundation of your artistic ability all started there. So it makes sense that like you kind of almost default to it.
It is. And it was like, I just wanted to be able to, I don't know what about hip. It's funny because I never put 2 and 2 together, but I did slowly, like in just the process, because EDM on one side and then hip hop on the other. I liked EDM and that's why I got the DAW. But I was attracted to FL's pattern enough where I was like, this sounds like a rap beat or it sounds like hip hop. And so I was making so much hip hop stuff. I got a couple placements. I did Locke's Chatterbox a while ago, like 2015. Holy shit. Wow. Or like Toby Lou. That was
what
2015.
Wait, you did a song with him?
Yeah, I produced Hopefully with Toby Lou.
Dude, what the fuck? I was like obsessed with Toby Lou for a long time.
Yeah,
I think I listened to literally every single one of his songs he put out. So I probably listened to that.
That's currently on SoundCloud and Spotify. My name's on the SoundCloud. You won't see my name on Spotify. I tried to get the production credits in there, but that, all the love to that team, all the love to Toby Lou. Like,
dude, that's so funny.
It's a dead and gone project. Like meaning like I'm just like, I was so young. I was 15 and he messaged me on SoundCloud and he was like, hey, I really like this track that you just posted. And it was on my second account. So he must have been doing a little bit of digging.
It's Hopefully
as well.
Oh, okay, sweet. I'm gonna check that out.
That's
after
so
this
funny,
podcast.
because he is from Chicago. That's so funny, dude. I wouldn't even have thought, because I feel like he kind of. I mean, he's like decently big now. I mean, I feel like
very.
He's got a lot of.
I mean, the Smino collab was just crazy.
Yeah, too. Smino's another artist I listen to a lot of, and that's
Smino's awesome.
That's so funny, dude. What a crazy like.
That's mad funny,
dude. Yeah. I was 15. I sent him. Basically, I made this track with my vocals. It's such an old track. I hope it's on SoundCloud still. It's crazy. I had a crush on some girl and wanted to make some like literal melodic shit and send it to her. Like, I was just trying to be like that kid.
Yeah.
And I made it, but then like, and I posted it publicly to SoundCloud. And then like months later, Toby Lou found it and he was like, yo, like, let me work on this. Let's make this into a beat. And Yoji Money co-produced it as well, who was Felly's producer, if you guys know Felly.
Dude, I do know Felly. He's from Connecticut. He's from, I actually know a bunch of people that like grew up with that kid.
Yeah, so Yoji Money was his main producer, and he co-produced on that track.
Yeah, he's
as another talented producer. Toby Lou also touched the beat himself. So it's on the actual SoundCloud credit. It says produced by LYNY and Toby Lou.
Oh, wow. That's super cool.
Yeah, dude, Felly's from Fairfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Tom grew up with that kid.
Really?
He used to tour with him.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's fire. What's crazy is that song actually, it got me in a Netflix original. So that song was placed in Kyle. Do you guys know Kyle the rapper?
Yeah.
That movie, The After Party.
You were
seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait.
So
go ahead.
No,
sorry.
Hopefully was in it. Hopefully was in the scene.
Dude,
wow.
That's fucking nuts. That's so cool.
And like, it's crazy because like Wiz Khalifa pulled up in the scene and like while the song's playing and shit. And it was just like, whoa, like he probably heard my song 2 or 3 times, depending on how many times they
yeah, dude, that's awesome.
It could have been 50 if he kept fucking up, dude. Like, let's go.
That's so fucking cool.
Dude, that's amazing.
But yeah, it's crazy. My name is in the credits. My full name is in the credits. So
really,
so I would always take a picture because they have to address each soundtrack, like in the soundtrack section of the credits.
Right.
So it says like Alec Linehausser.
Yeah, it says Toby Lou's full name and then Alec Linehausser.
Oh wow,
that's so funny.
That's amazing, dude.
So, and utilizing that, like I'd like to utilize that more, or not even utilize. I'd just like to like bring it out of the grave a little bit because I really just shut it out for like a while because I was just like, okay, that was my old self, like whatever. But then like people were like, bro, this is dank. Like, and I thought I was just past the beat. Like I was past like my old style. But I actually do like the track a lot. He snapped on it too.
Yeah.
I just love like, it's a vibe. It's a very unique vibe, but that's what's cool about it. He did some works with Smino a couple years after, and that's fire.
Oh, you did?
Oh no, not me. He.
Oh, okay.
he.
I was gonna say,
I was
dude.
like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, I also did a
Crazy.
track with Barack
Irish,
Obama.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, I think we've been going for like an hour. I think maybe tie it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Of course.
Well, dude, it
Doesn't
was
matter.
great. It was great having you on. The hour flew by like crazy.
Yeah. No. Of course.
And before we kind of head out, is there anything you want to kind of say in conclusion? Maybe like, I don't know, where people can find you or like anything they should be looking forward to?
Yeah, no, I'll, first of all, I appreciate you guys for this. This has been awesome. Great conversation as well as an interview.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think, I don't know, I could leave it as find me on SoundCloud and Instagram at LYNY Official, LYNY. If you're interested in a hip hop fusion with EDM, all sorts of stuff though coming out soon. All sorts of it, all sorts of genres. Excited to share this material.
Awesome.
Dude,
I
yeah, that
appreciate
was
you guys.
great. Yeah, that was a ton of fun, and I'm excited to see what you got coming up next. And like for the
Sweet.
E-Force show, you know?
Yeah, no, it's making me want to buy a ticket.
I'm gonna be preparing for that.
Yeah, dude.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right. Well, anyways, dude, have a great rest of your night. Thanks so much for coming on, and
You too.
we'll keep in contact.
Of course.
See ya.
See you, bro.
Thanks so much for listening to Bone Apple Tea. If you like the show, please give us a follow, a like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is. Tell your friends about it. And make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's Bone Apple TV, BoneAppleTeav on Instagram. Thanks so much.